welcome to episode 65 of Character Unlock, your bi-weekly couple of hours of gaming nonsense. This week hosted by me, the lovely and talented Brooker, and joining me as always is my good buddy, the lovely and talented John. How are you, mate?
I'm alright. I would never accuse myself of being lovely or talented.
I'd call you lovely.
I wouldn't accuse you of being lovely or talented either.
I wouldn't accuse me of being any of those things, but it's not, you got to big yourself up a little bit sometimes, don't you? No other motherfucker's going to do it for me, so I'm going to big myself up for a bit. I am both lovely and talented. Deal with it, motherfucker.
Okay. Oh, okay. Jesus.
How are you, mate? You right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm real good. Yeah. Pretty decent couple of weeks since the last one. Actually played some different games rather than just Anthem, so I'm actually a little happy about that.
I've played next to nothing, and I'm a little sad about that. But I played my way into a bit of a slump. It's really fucking weird, and we'll definitely talk about it, when we get to what we've been playing, because it's the fucking game that I played's fault. It's the fault of the game that I played as to why I've not played any more games. And I've been kind of busy. Lots of films coming out. There's a Deadwood movie coming in a couple of months, which I'm very excited about. But that has kicked into gear a full Deadwood rewatch, which, 6 years ago, before we had a child, a Deadwood rewatch would have lasted a week max. Now I've been doing it for a week, and I'm not even at the end of the first season. I hate being a fucking grown up. But busy.
Yeah, well, that's what we have to do with our lives now.
True. Very true. Yeah, I've been reading as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
You haven't done that in a while.
Well, I do read a fair amount. I tend to not talk about it, obviously, on the podcast very much, because it's not a reading podcast. It's a gaming podcast.
I was going to say, it'd be very different if it was a reading podcast, and I wouldn't be on it, because the only thing I read is the internet.
Yeah, Reddit doesn't quite count.
Nah.
But no, I only bring it up. I'm about, hold on, let me have a look. I'm nearly 2/3, I suppose, of the way through Tom Clancy's The Division Broken Dawn.
So that probably wouldn't get very far on most reading podcasts either.
No, it wouldn't. Sadly, it will get further on a goddamn gaming podcast. This is another one of those times where I was asked if I wanted to do something and I stupidly said yes, and then instantly regretted it. Much like the time I read and reviewed the God of War tie-in novel for Set the Tape. What was that? It must have been about a year ago I did that now. Nah, I can't have been that long. But yeah, it doesn't matter. But, this is at least... The God of War one was a fucking novelization of the game. You literally, if you'd played the game, you didn't need to read the book. This is, at least as far as I can tell, a different story to all the Division stuff. It's just a bit crap. But I've kind of said I'll read and review it now, so now I'm stuck reading this fucking book. Luckily, I'm on a training course in London this week. And
is the book going to be more interesting than the training course?
No, it's not. It's a very good... I'm doing advanced Linux stuff, which is interesting to maybe 9 people in the world, but it is really fucking cool, and some of the shit I'm learning to do is amazing. And it's going to do my career the world of good. Maybe not where I am right at this particular point in time, but it is going to do my career good. But actually, what you need after all of that, for 8 hours in a day, you need to just fucking switch off, and shit paramilitary / spy book set in a video game universe that no one gives a fuck about. It's actually the perfect antidote for a day's worth of Linux training. So I'm getting through it quite quick, actually. I only got the book Saturday. I only really started reading it Monday afternoon, and I haven't had much time to read. But yeah, I'm doing all right. I've got to have it read and reviewed by the weekend, so I best fucking hurry up.
Yeah, I quite liked your little summation of the Division. It's like the back law of a story that no one really even cares about in any kind of way because it's a shooter.
Well, let me talk for a second about the Division, okay? Because this has really pissed me off. I said you can't see this, but I've just put my coffee down really angrily, as if I've gone to make a point. You can't see any of it. Just imagine me pointing at you, going, "Right now, this has annoyed me." All right, just so. What was the text we got from Lee the other day? The Division 2 is getting good reviews. Did we write it off too early? I was like, motherfucker. I'm sitting there. Probably the
This is
closest I've come to a game that I would gladly play with you guys. No fucker wanted to play it. I texted the pair of you and said, I might play. I might get hold of a copy of this to play and review. Are you guys going to pick it up? No. Fine, I won't. And then people want to fucking pick it up. Fuck's sake.
well, to be fair, he said that the Division's got good reviews. I'm pretty sure that like I straight away was like, yeah, no, I'm still not interested in it.
I jest. It's not pissed me off at all. I don't really care. But it is. What's interesting actually is, and a part of a little bit of it was kind of going through the because I really want to. I like Tom Clancy stuff. I have a soft spot for silly paramilitary spy stuff, or just military stuff or spy stuff. I do have a bit of a soft spot for it. Anything that says Tom Clancy on it. If it was a film that came from the mind of Tom Clancy, I'd be all over it. So I thought, you know what? It's had its couple of years. It's a Ubisoft game. I'm just going to rent it and play it. So I've rented the Division. It's sitting. It arrived today actually, and I was like, should I get it installed? So, no, it's a live service game, and I've got a podcast to do today. Let's maybe not take up my internet with an enormous goddamn download. And I wanted to get Hitman updated because Hitman took an update yesterday, and there's new ET on Friday. So
Yes, there is. Looking forward to it before it's elusive target.
it's
Now that
gonna.
I've actually worked my way around most of the maps.
The hilarious part is it's a legacy elusive target, so it's actually in Paris.
Oh yes, brilliant! I've actually completed Paris. Like I've done everything on it.
Nice.
Yeah, I really love the fucking Paris one. I still need to do enough challenges and get myself to a high enough level where I can have a silenced sniper rifle.
Are you
But
playing Hitman 2?
yeah,
There's only one way to get the silenced sniper rifle in Hitman 2.
what's that?
You have to get mastery level 10 on the island of Segal.
Okay.
It's the only way to do it.
In that case, yeah, I think I could probably get that. I think it's the only one that I've not got mastery level 10. Well, I've not got mastery level 10 on a lot of them, actually, to be fair. But I think it's one of the ones I've not really tried to, because after doing the
To,
mission once,
yeah.
I think I looked at it and was like, I don't really feel like continuing to do this one.
To be fair, I think I did the mission once.
I've done the
No.
escalation on it, or at least I've done level 3 of the escalation on it.
I've done the mission once. I've done the escalation with the fish once. Uh, and I dicked around for a little bit doing a couple of other little bits, but I wasn't doing anything in particular. And I got mastery level 10. It wasn't particularly difficult.
No.
Uh,
I love Paris. I'm really looking forward to doing the elusive target on Paris because I think I actually know my way around there so perfectly now.
yeah.
I think I could probably do the elusive target regardless of who it is I have to kill or where I have to kill them.
Yeah. It's good. It's a legacy one, so it's one from Hitman 1. I don't know it. I've not looked into it yet because a lot of the Hitman 1 ones I missed.
Yeah, well, neither of
So
us had Hitman 1 right from the get-go, really.
I did.
Okay.
I just kept missing the goddamn elusive targets because they were only up for 2 days at a time, weren't they?
I didn't know I didn't pick up Hitman 1 until after they'd more or less finished all the elusive targets.
No, I bought Hitman 1 on release day. Or I bought the season pass for Hitman 1 and played episode 1 on release day. But yeah, I kept missing the ETs because they were only there for like 2 days at a time and I was insanely fucking busy.
I think I actually when I picked up Hitman 1, it was actually when we went to E3 and I did there was a Hitman conference and they were talking about elusive targets.
Yeah.
during that, and that's when I picked up Hitman 1. So it was after they'd finished the actual main story, I think, was all out when I picked it up, and then never got around to playing it.
Yeah. And the elusive
Oh,
targets are fun.
I
I
bought uh, Patient Zero stuff because I've got the Legacy pack, but I don't have the Legacy Golden pack
yeah,
because apparently that was a different thing.
yeah.
Although was pretty sure that when I bought Hitman 2, I bought the most expensive version of it, which strange why it didn't include Patient Zero, but it
No,
didn't.
Patient Zero's Hitman 1 DLC. It's got nothing to do with Hitman 2.
Yeah, but I bought like the Ultra Legacy
Mm.
Super Edition of whatever it was, which apparently wasn't
No, so
the
this is
top
so this
level
is
one.
what you get. So you get Hitman 2 Gold Edition has Hitman 2 has Sniper Assassin map and it has the Season Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Legacy DLC is free if you owned Hitman 1.
Okay.
It's not. It's got nothing to do with Hitman 2. If you didn't own Hitman 1, you have to pay for the Legacy DLC.
And I think if you have Game Pass, it's free because Hitman 1's free on Game Pass,
Yes.
which
So
I think
if
that's how I ended up with Hitman 1 Legacy
yeah,
on Hitman 2 was because of Game Pass.
yeah. Same. You get the same thing if you got Hitman 1 on PS Plus. It counts as you owning it because it comes up in your library, so you can get the Legacy pack for free.
Cool.
Patient Zero, stay with me. Patient Zero is part of the Game of the Year upgrade for Hitman 1. And if you had the Game of the Year upgrade for Hitman 1, you can get the Patient Zero maps for Hitman 2, or the Patient Zero missions, because they're the same maps.
Yeah.
But you can get it's so fucking convoluted. I literally, mate, I sat there going, I am so glad that I had already bought all of this stuff or picked up the Legacy stuff when it was free, because the Legacy pack for Hitman 2 was free for everybody for about 2 weeks when Hitman 2 first came out.
Okay.
So I downloaded it straight away knowing that I was going to buy Hitman 2 because it's only free if you have Hitman 1 digitally. So your machine can pick up the license. If you have Hitman 1 on disc, it doesn't work.
Ah, that's why there was Hitman 1 had the Legacy downloads.
hmm
It was a load of just like 100k
Yep,
patches for Hitman 1.
yep. And then, because it gets even better, once a month at the moment, a Legacy map goes up free. Because, well, at the moment, I think it's because, what was it? What was the last Legacy elusive target? Was the hospital at the end of Hitman 1. Was the Legacy target at the end of February. So obviously you can't play that unless you've got that map. So at that point, whether or not you bought the Legacy pack or you bought the Game of the Year edition or you own Hitman 1, that map then becomes free. Which by all accounts is a massive pain in the ass if you're playing on PC, because one of the guys at work who plays Hitman 2 on PC, he has to dig through the Steam library to find the free maps when they go free, and it's a fucking nightmare.
All right.
Yeah, it's so fucking convoluted. But
Wow, I've actually forgotten what the last mission on Hitman 1 was because after finishing it, I moved straight onto Hitman 2.
it's the one in the hospital where you can't pick any locks because you have the remote code IR'd into your dressing
Yes.
gown.
Yeah, yeah, I know the one. Sorry, it took me ages to. I was just thinking, what the fuck was the hospital in this? Yeah, it's Japan.
Yeah,
So I was,
Hokkaido.
yeah, Hokkaido, Japan. I was literally just. I was thinking of Hitman 2 mission where you have to kill the sick guy. That for some reason that was stuck in my head. The sick guy in Hitman 2, old man
Oh yeah, in Another
in his
Life.
house. Yeah, in the streets of
Yeah,
America.
yeah. It's not Colorado. It's fuck. Doesn't
Yep,
matter.
exactly. It's
Yeah,
like
the one with the
I was
Secret Service agent.
Yeah, that literally is like all I could think of was just that guy, and I was like, because I remember dressing up as a nurse, and I was like, okay, so that's not a hospital. Wait, that's isn't that Hitman 2? Which one's Hitman 1? Yeah,
I did enjoy very much replaying because I played Hitman 1 fucking ages ago, so I very much enjoyed going through Hitman 1 again in Hitman 2 menus. I've said this about 20 times on the podcast in the last
Yeah,
4 months.
we
So
fucking love Hitman. Has become like the greatest game of all time for us.
I sat there, you know what, I was talking, again, Rob at work. I was talking to Rob, I was texting him the other day, uh, and we were just talking, and suddenly like, oh shit, it's the end of the month. There's a new fucking elusive target. There's a new update. Woohoo! Because I haven't played Hitman for, I don't know, 3 weeks. It hasn't been in my drive. I've been playing other things. I'm like, I get to put Hitman back on. Fucking yes! I've missed playing Hitman because it is such a great game, and I can't. I just like going in and dicking around now. I don't care about the missions and the maps and all that. I just want to fuck around. I kind of want to go through and try and do everything on master difficulty, but then I did try to do a map. I tried to do a master difficulty sniper assassin run. Fuck me, that was hard. Like I got spotted once, and that was it. My heart rate through the roof because you can't save. There's no save point abuse once you play master difficulty because you only get one save per game,
Okay.
and you have to know the map and you have to pick your fucking point as to where you're going to save. So I did that. I was like, no, I'm going to leave it because I'm going to be playing this fucking game forever. So I might go through and I might mess around on the maps, learn them a little bit more, and then come back. And then I'll do them on master.
I think I could do Paris on master difficulty with on a sniper challenge as well.
I don't know how no, Sniper Assassin on Paris is a piece of piss.
Yeah, because you can start in the as the one of the guys who has immediate access to the fireworks.
Yep, that's what you need.
You literally just grab the firework launcher, go walk outside, pick your sniper rifle up out of the back of the truck, and grab the crowbar
Yeah,
from the side of the road.
yeah,
Or if you're seeing as you can pick what you have, you would just have the log picks at the start
yeah.
rather than having the anything else.
But that's it. 'Cause I did a Sniper Assassin challenge for Paris, like my second or third go at it when I realised it was a thing, and I unlocked the ability to take a briefcase in, and that was back playing Hitman 1 when it first came out. Because it was actually one of the challenges was set off the fireworks and kill them both within 10 seconds once on the balcony,
Yeah.
and then you got to get out. You know, fucking hell, this is actually kind of hard. But yeah, it's really good. And every time I pick it up, I play. You know, I go through and do some of the other challenges because I found when I was playing the first one, if I kept forcing myself to play map after map after map and just do one challenge, finish the mission, go back, do it again, another challenge, finish the mission, I got pissed off with it and burnt myself out. Whereas this way, and I'm a little annoyed that I don't own the game digitally because that way I wouldn't need to keep putting the goddamn disc in. But after Red Dead 2, I got so badly burnt, I'm like, I'm not fucking buying any more goddamn digital games. But yeah, so when I put Hitman in on Friday to play the elusive target, I'll do the elusive target and I'll maybe do a mission or two, maybe clear some mission stories, maybe do a mission on master difficulty, and then I'll turn it off and go to something else. And I'm quite happy doing that because it takes me about 5 minutes to get back into the swing of like the control scheme and that, and I'm back playing Hitman again. I love it. It's bizarre for me to think about. Like 4 or 5 years ago, I would have, Battlefield was my pick up and play game, or Shadowfall,
Yeah.
or anything. Now, I never would have guessed it would have been a Hitman game. Never. But Hitman and Hitman 2 are something fucking special, and I'm really, really glad that I'm still playing it. I'm really glad that you finally got into playing it.
Yeah, I don't know why it took me so long to pick it up, and I don't know what made me just pick it up randomly. I think it's because I was getting a bit burnt out of playing all of the other games that I was, and I was just like, you know what? I've owned Hitman digitally for such a long time,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed playing Hitman 1. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to play through Hitman 2. I'm going to quickly smash out a couple of the missions, and then got stuck on Colorado, and it taking me like the best part about 6 hours just to do one kill out of the 4. And then slowly working my way up, and then after you telling me about the fucking save point abuse, I was like, oh my god, this has completely changed everything. Because before, I was making mistakes and then doing restart mission.
Yeah. No, this see the thing with the save point abuse is this is the mantra of stealth game players. So Hitman, Deus Ex, Dishonored, all of these games. These are games where you know you're going to go around the corner and get fucked if you do it wrong. Save. you know, you know that if you fuck up this kill, you might cause a problem and completely ruin your run through. Save. Because when you do fuck it up, you just reload, and instead of going right, you go left. Fuck it. It's sometimes it can be annoying when you know that you have to play a game like that. Like I did it with Dishonored 2. I'm like, I need to stop doing this. I need to stop saving at every corner because actually it's ruining my game. And I want to play the game and I want to finish the story and I need to not worry about fucking up my game and just, if I'm going to start trophy chasing, come back later and do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyone that's played more than one or two stealth games, it just becomes habit. The first thing you do is check, can I abuse the saves? Yes, I can. Here we go.
Yeah, so my playthroughs of Hitman 2 have mostly been do this. Oh fuck. I need to do this instead. Load, grab save point from X number of minutes beforehand. Go start again, do a different slightly different variation. So things like going and picking something up rather than going and taking rather than killing a guard or well not killing a guard, but either subduing a guard or going and grabbing a different item first and then doing it because he's in a different place
Yeah.
and therefore you're less likely to be noticed. So there's a couple of times when I was doing the Paris one trying to kill the guy with poison making his favorite drink,
Yeah.
and every time I did it I was trying to work my way around so I could actually go and do it a certain way, and then realized I was doing it the exact wrong order. And I just went, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna go get the ingredients, and then I'm gonna go and make the drink and put it on the side, and then I'm gonna go take advantage of the fact that he's stops to talk to someone.
Yeah.
So instead of just going around and making the drink while he's standing in front of me, I was just making the drink and then leaving it on the side and then fucking off and doing something else.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier to do it that way. Because he just goes and drinks his fucking drink anyway.
Yep. Yeah, there can be times where there's a lot of hurry up and wait, especially when you know what you're doing, and like a situation like that, you go, well, I don't want him to die right there because I can't, it fucks up your Silent Assassin playthrough, or it did. I don't think it does anymore.
No, if he dies and it's like by poisoning, it's or by I'm going to pick Colorado as an example. You putting the extra nitroglycerin in the explosives and he blows himself up.
Yeah.
Then it counts as technically as an accident.
Yeah.
Is the way they see it, and you keep your Silent Assassin because no one sees you fucking do it.
Yeah. See, before the first game update, it wasn't like that, and it fucked up your
because
Assassin.
it showed up as body found.
Yeah. So actually, a lot of us, what we're doing things like that, but instead of using lethal poison, put in the rat poison in that makes him just sick.
Yeah.
And then just go hide in the toilet for half an hour, wait for him to finally come around. There was an elusive target that wasn't it an elusive target? Yeah, there was an elusive target I made blow up, but because I spent like half an hour walking around the map trying to figure out where she was going and what she was doing, I realised that she went and stood up by a petrol canister and started smoking. So I restarted the mission. Literally, all I did, snuck through, ran up, screwdriver through the barrel, and then left. And I went and hid by a snowmobile for 10 minutes while I waited for her to finally make her rounds around there. The actual time to do my job was about 4 minutes, but my kill time was nearly 20 because I just had to wait for her to go and do it.
Yeah, I think one of the missions. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but there was two targets to go and kill, and I knew exactly the route one of them was going to take. So I just set a trap and waited, and then just went and fucked off and did something completely different. Yeah. Oh, it was Bangkok, I think it was, and I literally set the microphone.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and just set the microphone up to electrocute him, and just waited for him to go into the fucking recording studio,
yeah,
and went and fucked off and did something else, and
yep,
went and killed the other guy instead,
yeah,
because it was a lot easier that way. And it's like, and I think I did another one on in Italy. I just walked up, put the explosive golf ball in the golf bag, and then fucked off upstairs, set the hose pipe on to put some water out, and then took a screwdriver to the plug, and then just went off and just waited by the exit point, and just waited for him to blow himself up, and then for her to electrocute herself,
yeah.
which surprisingly happened almost immediately afterwards.
Nice.
It literally explosion and then electrocuted, and I was like, oh, all right then, just left.
Yeah,
So it's like total time me doing the mission, maybe 5 minutes
yeah,
because of trying to put on different disguises to get yourself around, and then leaving, and then just waiting for the stuff to happen, maybe another 10 minutes or so.
yeah, yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah, it is one of those games that it can be like again, especially when you know your way around and you know some of the stories and that. I found the only thing I preferred about Hitman 2 actually is I tended to turn the notifications for the mission stories off. Otherwise, it's not a puzzle anymore.
Yeah, I think now that I've finished the overall story, I'm going to probably turn off those notifications and stuff like that
Yeah,
because it's useful when you're still learning the ropes.
yeah,
But once you've got the kills, you kind of most of the mission stories, I know my way through almost all of them now because I've done save point abuse enough times because I fucked something up and I've gone back and gone, actually, I could go do another mission story on this guy because he's now alive because I've had to load before he died.
yeah.
Or a lot of the mission stories don't end with you killing them.
No, which actually means 'cause you can do 2 or 3 mission stories per target per time you play,
Yeah,
which is quite good. You know, if you're just killing time and chasing a score, if you're not too worried about getting your time done as quick as possible, or if you're just interested in seeing what how things play out, which I am when I do stuff like that. Uh, Again, I go back to like Dishonored stuff. Like, with Dishonored, with every target you could choose like a pacifist or a kill everybody run, and each run would have a different way to eliminate your target. And actually, it was really fun to see how those things would play out. Kills are kills. Kills, you just kill them. But a pacifist one, some of them were really fucking clever and really quite inventive. And it was always amazing to see how someone would write that into this game. And I like doing the same thing with Hitman as well. I like going through and seeing how these stories end. And only a few of them definitely ultimately 100% have a death at the end of it. And that is stuff like, oh, I've electrified the microphone,
yeah,
because you've turned it into a lethal object. But ones where you just have to go drop a letter to somebody and see where they go. Well, you get the mission story, and if you want to do another one, you can just leave them to it, or you can follow them to the basement and take a goddamn axe to their head, which is what I
yeah.
did.
Some of the mission stories where it kind of ends with them standing directly in front of you while you're hiding in a cupboard,
Yeah,
and they're just standing there waiting for stuff to happen, and it's like, well, I finished the mission story, and this is a really opportune moment to just kill him and shove him in this cupboard, but at the same time, wait a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds for them to leave the room.
yeah,
Like, again, on the Italian one, where it's the mission story of his mother being, you basically being the ghost of his mother.
yeah.
I fucked that one up because the mission story didn't tell me to turn on the fan to make his mother's chair move. Because it doesn't, the mission story doesn't do that. It doesn't get that far. It just kind of waits and it says wait for him to turn up in the room. So
Yeah.
he walked into the room, and because the chair wasn't moving backwards and forwards, he didn't walk further enough into the room. So he was literally standing next to the cupboard I was standing in. So I couldn't get out of the cupboard with him in the room
Yeah.
because he would have just seen me get out the cupboard immediately. I was like, well, clearly this is fucked up in some way. Completed the mission story. We just had to wait for him to just fuck off.
Yeah.
That took fucking ages because he was just standing there like a complete muppet. Because the mission story was finished but hadn't quite worked. Yeah.
Hiding in a cupboard. I love
Just Me just standing there hiding in the cupboard staring at this
I,
guy while he's just like being a complete mong.
well, see, I do this thing where I kind of whenever I'm doing it, I have the like the script from In Bruges running through my head. We sit there going, I bet not come back in 10 minutes and find you hiding in a fucking cupboard.
You completely promised to jump in the canal. I don't want to run out there, come back in 10 minutes and find you fucking hiding in a cupboard.
Every time, mate. Every single time. Whenever I'm hiding in a cupboard in Hitman, that's all that's going through my head.
It's I tell you what, there's one feature that's missing from Hitman and Hitman 2 that I really miss out of Absolution.
Go on, then.
The ability to take targets down or, subdue just anyone while you're in hiding.
Oh, yeah,
So
see, I think the problem with that is it will make that game so fucking easy.
yeah, it really would. And it's something that was in Assassin's Creed as well, more frequently. It's actually a massive point of Assassin's Creed is the ability to do that. But I really miss the ability, the fact that I'm standing in a cupboard and I see someone who I want to take their disguise or
Yeah.
dress up like cosplay as a guard or a mechanic as one of them's walking past, and it's like I have to get out the fucking cupboard, which takes way too fucking long.
Yeah.
Then walk up behind him. By this point, he's gone and walked around a fucking corner, and he's now completely visible by loads of people. And it's like you have to time it just right, rather than the ability to just press a button and grab them and bring them back into the cupboard.
Yeah.
Or as a scarecrow from when you're killing off the nuns in the Absolution.
Yeah. See, the
You just
Scarecrow's still there.
Yeah, I saw a scarecrow in Colorado and jumped on it. I saw it. I was like, I am so dressing up as a scarecrow.
Yeah. But yeah, outside of it being a bit of a nod and an extra bonus couple of points, it doesn't do much. But, no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So now, see, now you're in there. Now you're playing Hitman. You can play Sniper Assassin maps in co-op.
Yeah. So
So
I've done the first. Well, I say I've done the first one. I've done a couple of levels worth of gear on my sniper rifle and sniper assassin on the first one,
yeah,
and they just added a second map.
yeah, that came out this week. I
Which
haven't
is
played it yet because I've been busy.
So I've got my achievement for completing it on my own, and I actually did it really well. I think I've done it 5 or 6 times, and I've definitely got at least one silent assassin and killed all the guards.
I think I have killed all the guards once.
Yeah, kill all targets, silent assassin was fucking hard because there's a lot of them that don't actually stand or go anywhere near anything that is the ability to hide them.
No, but you have to
And
you have to do like the environmental kills that count as accidents that don't make people run.
yeah,
So I keep fucking mine up because I want to do. There's one where you can kill them all
there's
with a cannon, and I know how to do it, but I keep fucking it up. And the problem is, you kind of have to do a bit of cleanup beforehand because it's only available to do at about the 12-minute mark of the 15 minutes.
yeah.
So what I don't want to do is I don't want to get to 3 minutes left without touching anybody and then having to clear the entire map in 2 minutes.
There's one where you can kill 2 targets with the statue
Yep.
inside the pagoda, and I was just looking at it going, at what point do they actually go and stand near the fucking pagoda? What do I have to? However long do I have to wait for 2 of them to go stand the pagoda? When is the fucking opportune moment of me killing all of the other fucking guards and the other character?
Yeah.
And it's not quite knowing because I haven't really looked into the challenges enough to know which 2 are the ones that go into the fucking pagoda for me to just go and kill everyone else.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of other like feats and challenges, so the like killing all the hawks, killing all the pigeons, or shooting the bouquet as she throws it.
Yeah.
I think I fucked the wedding up a couple of times because I've definitely shot opened the cage of the doves before they were supposed to. And the bride just starts crying and storms off.
Nice.
So there's a couple of really interesting ways of messing with the people around there to try and change the way that they do stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite cool. So you make the bride start crying and storm off. So then her father goes off with her, and they go and stand inside a room somewhere else, which means that when the bride and groom go back out, and he's sort of still standing in there, and he's completely unguarded, so he becomes an easy kill.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of other really weird ones, and I've put the Hitman sense on as I've looked around, and there's a couple of people that just not guards, they're just random people, but they're also hiding behind walls,
Yep.
so you can't see them. And I
Yeah.
think there's feats and challenges attached to something about those people, but I can't work out what it is.
I wouldn't know. No, I've played it. I played the map a few times. I've done a few of the stupid challenges, but I've not. I don't have any interest in clearing every challenge off the maps because fuck that.
Oh yeah, some of those challenges are fucking stupid.
So yeah, so some of the, especially for the sniper assassin, for the fun ones, I do them. Like there's a couple of rats in the kitchen you got to kill.
Oh yeah, done that one.
Yeah.
I've killed the 3 hawks. Killing all 10 pigeons though is something
Yeah.
I remember from the Hitman Sniper Challenge minigame that was
Yeah.
available. And there's like one of the pigeons was like next to impossible because you had to kill most of the pigeons already, and then shoot something else to make a random homeless guy chase a lot of pigeons off. Yeah.
I don't think that's happening.
Uh,
But yeah,
there's-
it's now that you've got it, we can play some co-op, mate, and I'm definitely going to drag you in to play some co-op on it at some point. 'Cause it's
And we
really
need to play the
laugh.
ghost mode as well.
That'd be nice. I've been fucking waiting for somebody to play Ghost Mode with me.
I literally, right? Anytime you see me on the Xbox, right, I will drop pretty much any game that I'm playing to play with you.
Well, yeah, but it's pointless if you weren't already playing Hitman 2. Because
I
you can't be
disagree.
expected to pick up the multiplayer component of quite a complicated stealth action game without having played it beforehand.
That, to be fair, now that I finished Hitman 2, and the fact that most of my way through, okay, yeah, maybe doing ghost mode would have been a bit difficult if I hadn't learnt most of the maps on Hitman 2, but at the same time, I think I've outscored you on most of the maps of Hitman 2.
Well, you probably have, because, well, for one, most people I know are better gamers than I am. But for two, I also didn't have anybody to compare myself to, so I just carried on going.
Yeah, there's a couple, there's a couple that I've only done the mission once, and I've absolutely annihilated your score, both time-wise, and I've also silent assassined it.
Fair enough. I'm pretty sure I've
And
silent assassined all of those maps now.
and I absolutely smashed the race challenge, the
Okay.
first one of the second one of Hitman 2,
Yeah.
to the point where I've smashed it so much that I'm actually in the top 1,000
Nice.
in the world.
You also
for
have
it.
to remember that you and I play games very differently. So I had to say this to Lee as well. I wander and I just do stuff and I fuck around and I've got no interest in going in and finishing a mission in 6 seconds flat, having killed everybody. I like to go around and just see what I can find and see what I can do.
See, I like doing that, but only because it's the way that I see it is that I want to learn everything to be able to go in and do it in the most efficient way possible.
Yeah.
I think it's a marker of my laziness and the way that I work is that I will find and spend much more time than it takes to do the job to find the easiest way of doing the job.
Yeah.
And I will probably spend way too much time trying to work that out just so I can make it easier.
Yeah. But yeah,
So-
it's just, I don't. It's up when I don't care that much about people beating me in scores. It's I know it literally is a competition, but
Yeah.
it's not a competition.
The fact that I looked at the global leaderboard for Paris and saw that someone had completed it in 37 seconds, and I was just looking at it going, how? How
Yeah.
the fuck do you kill 2 people in 37 seconds and silent assassin at that?
Yeah.
I don't understand at all how anyone could kill 2 targets that are nowhere near each other at any given moment in 37 seconds, silent assassin, and get away
Yeah.
when the only real way of getting both of them into a position where you can kill them both quickly takes more than 37 seconds.
Yeah, I have no idea, and I literally couldn't care less.
It would it would take me longer than 37 seconds to get to any of the exits from anywhere I can think of that you can kill one of them.
The thing is, right, to get to that point, so the guy would, whoever did it, he would have got full mastery on the mission or on the map, which takes a few playthroughs and a lot of dicking around if you want to do it quickly.
Yeah.
And then he spent an eternity trying to figure out the quickest way of doing that. I've got a job, man. Yeah, and a family and films to watch and other games to play. I'm not doing that.
So the only real way I can think of is starting in the place where you've got access to the fireworks, pressing the button immediately, running out to the place where she stands over the balcony, pushing her off the edge. But then how the fuck do you get from there to an exit point?
Don't know. Don't know.
Also, it would take. You can't go to that floor dressed up as one of those guys because they can't go up the flight of stairs that lead to that floor.
No.
Which makes me wonder: is it the press the fire alarm? So they go into the panic room and have an explosive in there and wait for them to run in there and then blow it up while you stand next to an exit. But again, wouldn't that take more than 30 seconds? It's fucking ridiculous.
Don't know. Honestly, Matt, I don't know. I have no idea. I have little time or respect for people that have got the time to do that and actually spend the time doing it. You know, you know my wife. Can you imagine my wife letting me spend so much time on one game that I get that good?
Yeah.
You know,
I would be interested to see the conversation that comes out of your wife looking at you because you just said, "Oh yeah, I just set the fastest time for killing these 2 targets on this one mission. I can do it in 36 seconds now."
she'd twat me with the iron.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it, and this is kind of my point. I love playing these games. I do, and I put a fair amount of hours into most of them. But I like being married.
I just spent 40 hours of my life in a row
Yeah,
making it so that I can do this one mission in less than 30 seconds.
yeah. I don't get it.
But just this mission, none of the other missions,
No.
just this one.
So
Now I'm going to spend 40 hours on the next mission.
So please feel free to beat all of my times on Hitman, please, because I genuinely couldn't care less. Yeah, we spent 40 minutes talking about Hitman.
It's the Hitman podcast.
It is the Hitman podcast. I'm just going to scrap the fucking news.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I want to talk about Google Stadia.
The rest of the news is pretty pointless.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stadia's good.
Google Stadia, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm all for more companies that have a lot of backing and a lot of money joining the way forward for video gaming.
So I'm split, I think. I like the idea to a point, and then I've got some real reservations. So let's start. So for anybody that doesn't know, so Stadia is Google's foray into proper video gaming, and it's by proper video gaming, what I mean is they're going to open a streaming service. So basically, Google on Live.
Or
And
PlayStation Now.
Yeah, Google on Live is going to it's going to have its own controller. Doesn't need to have its own controller. It will use any controller that you want to plug into your PC or your device that you can stream from, which will cover a fair amount. So it'll be TVs, PCs, laptops, tablets, phones, all of that shit. And if you can connect a controller to it, you can use that controller, which in theory sounds amazing. I like the idea of their new controller. So there is a Google Stadia controller, which looks but ugly, but they've actually put some thought into it, which I quite like. So the biggest issue with streaming games, I was playing Killzone 2 a little while ago on PlayStation Now, and the biggest issue is the fucking latency. The time difference between me tapping fire and it actually happening, it was quite bad on PlayStation Now. Admittedly, half of that is probably my internet or my shitty router, but it's an issue. So the Stadia controller will connect separately to your Wi-Fi or the Wi-Fi of wherever you happen to be connected to. So you won't have the latency of it going through the device you're playing on. So if I'm playing on my TV will be connected to the internet, my controller will be connected to the internet, and obviously one will control the other, but the controller won't need to be connected to the TV.
Yeah.
Which it might not seem like that big a deal, but it's cutting out that extra device that will cause latency between here and wherever the Google servers are that are going to be playing that game. Stuff like that, I think, is amazing. Obviously, it's Google, so it's got YouTube support, and this, I think, is where it falls over a little bit. So, so YouTube, you will have the ability to automatically stream, which is interesting. Obviously, it's YouTube, so instantly stream if you want it to. I think it's interesting that you could be streaming a game in 4K, but your internet is so crap that you're still playing it in HD.
It's alright, you live in a new build, you've got fibre to the premises, right?
No. I've got cat farts to the premises. It's about as good as my internet gets most of the time. Future-proof, apparently. So apparently it will take up to 8K gaming in the future.
Yep.
It is set so it should be able to take 4K 60, which I think is a big ask.
Yes.
It's a big claim to make, but it will always be down. That will always be down to your internet provider. Have you got 200 meg, 2 millisecond internet? No, well, then you can't have 4K 60. I think my biggest concern comes from so when you're streaming, if you're streaming on YouTube, or if I'm watching you stream and you're streaming a Stadia game, I have the ability to pick up my controller and go play that, which I think is a good idea, but
It's like the old the thing the PlayStation really wanted, which was the share play.
Yeah.
Share play, was it?
yeah, it was share play, yeah. But you could remote in someone else's PlayStation 4 and play Drive Club,
Yeah.
which I did
they
once.
in case they couldn't get a fast enough time, so you got to play with the lag of doing the faster time somehow.
Well, this is it. See, this is where my concerns come. Right. So, one, you will have to pay for that game that you want to play one way or another. So, unless it's a subscription model, there's going to be an instant payment of like 50 quid that you suddenly go, oh yeah, I'm going to play this game. Bang, 50 quid gone. Oh shit. Let's assume it's a subscription model of some sort, because that would be fucking insane. I have seen the community and the marketplace that has popped up surrounding the buying and selling of achievements and trophies, and a lot of people make a lot of money doing achievements and trophies for other people. This also goes into these people go into the same selection as people who can do 30-second Hitman runs. If you've got the time to play games for other people, you've got the time to go and get a proper job. Nonetheless, and I've seen some of these people charge a fortune. I watched a guy charge someone else $150 to platinum Killzone Shadowfall. $150. Now, if you're desperate for that platinum, that's a pretty low number considering the hours you have to put in to Shadowfall. At the same time, if you've got 150 quid to spare to hand over to somebody else to do trophies for you, I've got a bridge I'd like to sell you. But I do think it will open up a world of stuff like that. Because it will be possible with Stadia for you to take someone else's save state, which is completely fucking bizarre to me. And I think the excuse or the reasoning behind it will be, well, you sat and streamed with this, you've watched this person stream for the last 6 hours, you've taken the journey with them, now play the game, and you don't have to play everything that you've seen, you can jump straight in from where the stream ended and carry on going. That is the reasoning behind it. What it actually is I'm stuck here. If I PayPal you $20, can you take my save state and beat this boss, and then I'll take it back off of you, please? That's what's going to fucking happen. I'm not as negative as I sound about it, though. Honestly, I'm not. I like the idea of competition. I like the idea of competition for consoles, because the Nintendo's kind of excluded, because Nintendo aren't doing the same things that Xbox and PlayStation are doing. So Nintendo aren't, while they are competition for Sony and Microsoft, they're not direct competition for Sony and Microsoft, and I would like them to have some more direct competition to force them both to up the game. I don't think Sony needs to up their game that much, but they are going to start getting complacent. I do want Microsoft to up their game a lot, because the Xbox is my primary console, and I'd like to not regret that at some point. I don't think Stadia is the real competition that they need, but it's a step in the right direction. And if they can do it well, because obviously we're going to have xCloud at E3, the Microsoft one.
Yeah. Did you see Phil Spencer's leak? I said leaked in inverted commas. Document after the Stadia announcement.
I did not.
Sorry, I'm just gonna have to look it up because I probably should have got this prepared. So it was a statement that he sent out to basically everyone working at Microsoft, saying that they just watched the Google announcement of Stadia. It's their announcement is basically validation that what they're doing is right with their xCloud decision 2 years ago. Being that there's a big tech competitor doing the exact same thing that they really want to do with the whole Wi-Fi controller, using YouTube, with Microsoft have Mixer and
Yeah.
basically the use of the Google Assistant versus Cortana. They're saying that there's 2 billion gamers across the planet. That the Google went big, and that there's in a couple of months at E3 they're going to go even bigger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
It does make me interested to see what Microsoft are doing for E3, because only Microsoft are going to be at E3. Bethesda announced they're going to be at E3 last week, which was kind of assumed already, I think, but it was nice to know that they're actually going to be there. Microsoft's the only one I'm really desperate to watch, because I want to see what they do. Obviously, they're going to be showing new consoles. Yeah, let's see. I refuse to count them out. Blatantly refuse to count them out. But I need something from them. I need more. Just more.
Yeah, they've tried very hard to the back 4 years worth of Xbox of this generation.
Yeah.
To undo everything that was the first 2 years of this generation.
Very true. I think that, for me, I think they're doing okay. I think they're going in a direction that suits me-ish. I think Game Pass is amazing, and I think Game Pass is a necessity now.
Yeah.
For £8 a month. Okay, for £8 a month, all I've basically done is install a shitload of games that I haven't gotten around to playing yet. But for £8 a month, it's all right. I would like to see it integrated a little bit more. Maybe I wouldn't mind seeing the fucking price drop a little bit, because it is a lot of money on top of my live subscription.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to argue too much about that. I think Game Pass is amazing. I want more big exclusives. I want more reasons to own my Xbox. It ain't the indies anymore. All the indies are going to Switch. You know.
Yeah.
if you want to play indie games, a Switch is the machine to have. Let's not fucking talk about Crackdown ever.
No, let's not.
Uh, you know, Forza's great. If you're into your racing games, Forza's amazing. I don't play Forza. I play Forza for half an hour with every release and go, I don't know why I'm doing this, and turn it off. It's not for me, and I understand. It's literally like going, well, PlayStation's great, but I wish it had some games that weren't Spider-Man or God of War, because I don't like Spider-Man or God of War. I understand that basically I'm arguing for more stuff from Microsoft because I don't like the stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking retard. I know that they have their exclusives. It's just that their exclusives aren't really for me, and I would like more variety in what they have.
So Microsoft have a weird problem in that all of their exclusives for Xbox aren't actually exclusives for Xbox. They are console exclusives on Xbox,
Yeah,
but they're also available on PC.
with
Usually play anywhere.
they're exclusive to Microsoft platforms,
Yeah.
which is a problem when half of your user base uses PC, which isn't a problem. More people playing games, I think, is amazing, and I
Yep.
don't ever want to say people shouldn't play games on their PCs. They should go out and buy a console. No, play games on whatever you fucking want. People should just play games. But I do see what you mean.
There isn't a lot of money in PC games. I know seems really stupid thing to say. There's probably more PC gamers than the other, but the people don't buy games at full price on PC. If someone's going to buy your game on PC, it's because it's on sale on Steam, and they won't get around to playing it because they don't play it in sales.
No.
Because they will drop $1,000 or £1,000 or however much fucking money they can on the Steam summer sale, the Steam winter sale, the Steam Easter sale, the Steam whatever the fuck sale they decide to have, the Steam It's Thursday sale.
Yeah.
They will buy every single thing on there because it's dropped down by 75%.
Yeah.
But they won't play any of them. So a lot of those games that are available to them won't actually be played. They won't see their numbers for it because of it, and it's not a great market for that exact reason, because they'll download the games and they'll just go back and play Hat Wearing Simulator.
Yeah. But that's fine. So basically the PC side of it for Play Anywhere is just subsidizes what they already have with console.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy for that to be a thing. I would just like more. I've got Recore and Quantum Break still to play. They didn't really appeal to me. I kind of fancy them now, but I don't know. They just don't seem to have anything big or groundbreaking. 3 years ago, Crackdown 3 was supposed to be that, but today it's not.
Yeah. So Crackdown should have been absolutely phenomenal and outstanding if it was released at launch. Scalebound. What the fuck kind of game was Scalebound going to end up being if Crackdown got released the way that it did?
Yeah, I don't know. Is the Scalebound going to the Switch now?
I think it's being revived. I think it might even have a new name as well.
I think Platinum have got it, and they're going to be releasing it on Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's completely unconfirmed.
It's
just something I read.
Yeah, it was a what 38% plus, somewhere between 38 and 50% completed game.
Yeah.
When Microsoft mothballed it. You pick up an IP where a large portion of the game's groundwork has been built. You just need to add a story to it. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
It's worked for so many other companies before, when they've just gone, okay, we'll buy this game franchise because most of the game's been built and we'll just fucking release it.
Yep.
That's what THQ did for, well, pretty much all of the games that they lost.
Yeah.
Like, they had so many games in development and then went bankrupt.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of hope Stadia maybe pushes Microsoft a little bit, but I don't think they're the same. I don't think it's the same kind of business model. So, to be honest, I think the worst thing that Sony and Microsoft could do is just go, well, it's not a threat to us, and ignore it. Because I don't think Google will come back and just wreck them completely, but I think them getting complacent will ruin what is a good thing for gamers.
Yeah, so a cloud-based gaming platform is going to be an interesting one because the internet speeds are getting faster and faster. Milton Keynes, for instance, is getting gigafast.
Yeah, some of Milton Keynes is getting gigafast.
I'm pretty sure almost all of Milton Keynes is going to be getting gigafast at some point in the future. I don't know as and when. Around my area is pretty much all done except for where I live.
Yeah, the problem with that, right? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you're getting gigabit internet. What I'm saying is, if all of Milton Keynes gets gigabit internet, that's great. But it also means that I've got to pay for gigabit internet at some point.
Yeah.
I pay quite a bit for my shitty internet as it is, and all I will get is raped if I want gigabit internet.
You know what
Yeah.
you need to do? You need to move away from being with fucking Sky.
Nah, I like Sky though.
You're getting wallet raped for barely anything at the moment. You probably pay more for your internet now than I will be paying for my gigabit internet.
True enough, and that's always been the way. It was the way when I lived at my last place, and before we got really good internet, I paid through the nose for shit internet, and then the good internet came along, and I was golden again for a couple of years, and then I moved, and then it all went to crap.
Yep.
It will be. I will sort it, and it will be fine. But what about people that aren't in Milton Keynes?
Yeah.
You know, infrastructure's getting better. Yeah, again, we've had this conversation a dozen times on the podcast. Infrastructure's getting better, but it ain't perfect.
No.
But at the same time, the crossover between shit internet and wants to stream games is probably quite low. Is a purely streamed game platform the way to go at all?
Well, that's the thing, is that there is that crossover period between the infrastructure levels, and I'll use mobile data as an example on this one. 4G is still not 100% covered for England, not just Great Britain, England.
Yeah.
5G is being rolled out next year in
Yeah.
choice locations. That's the problem, is that we're going to end up in a position where we're going to have some places that may not have 4G when 5G is rolling around across most of the country, because the companies won't be looking at putting 4G into these places anymore, because they'll be thinking, oh, we need to roll 5G out now.
Yeah.
And then these places are still going to be on 3G or less.
Yep.
There's actually a fair few places where I don't even get 3G when I go up and visit my mum.
Yeah. But the problem is, do you halt putting out new technology until everybody's got their hands on the old technology?
Well, that's the thing. You can't.
From an infrastructure point of view, you can't.
No, you need to be rolling out the next big thing. But the problem is that you can't. If you roll out the next big thing, you're going to end up with people that are stuck, especially in terms of mobile data problems. You've got people that are stuck currently underneath 3G. You need to be thinking about, okay, so there's loads of people in this country who don't have 3G yet. Maybe we should try and get 5G to them as well before we get to the point of, okay, it's the 6th generation. It's not that 5G is even technically 5G, it's 4.9.
Fair enough. I can't speak in any authority to the technology behind 5G. I've not read up on it.
I don't think it's that different. I think it's still using the same sort of bandwidth and stuff. It's just boosted 4G.
Okay.
It's
take your word
super
for it.
4G. Yeah, I did a bit of digging just because I had needed something to do.
Fair enough. No, I haven't read up enough on it. Like I say, I can't speak to any kind of expertise on it. But I don't. You can't fix these problems. This is the thing.
No.
And I'm not just talking about like a 4G thing or an internet, an ISP infrastructure thing. You can't not roll out Google On Live because Doris down the road has only got 512k internet. Because what if Doris down the road don't want to play? Now you're hindering the whole world because you want to give Doris access to Fortnite.
Yeah, well,
Doris
that's the
don't
thing.
give a fuck.
If people want to play games and they want to have that stupidly fast internet, they will do what it is they can to get that stupidly fast internet. If it's moving house, if I was to move house, the first thing I would look for is what their internet speed is. I wouldn't go and move myself to a place and then go, oh shit, they may not have fiber to the
Yeah,
premises.
yeah.
Bless him, the guy that we work with is having a fucking mess of his internet at the moment because he's just spent money to get copper put to his place. Turns out he actually has fiber to the premises already.
Well, I could have
But
fucking told him that.
but BT didn't tell him that until the engineer turned up and was like, "Yeah, you've got fiber to the premises," and then
Yeah,
went to go do it, fix it remotely. So then just activate it, and it didn't work because the builders basically put it in wrong.
yeah. But this is the thing. This is all this is due diligence that he should have done.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
we did tell him to do long before he got his move date.
several times.
Yeah,
Talk to the people building the house. They will tell you what cabling they're putting in. You know, and I love the guy, but you can't not roll out Google Stadia because one Mong didn't check with the builders to see if he had
no,
fibre optic or not. You know, I'm not saying for a second there aren't going to be people that want to play Stadia or Microsoft X Cloud or PS Now or anything. There aren't people. There are always going to be people that aren't going to be able to use that technology because the infrastructure isn't there for them, and that's sad. And I'm not saying that in a condescending way. I'm genuinely sad for these people. But there are options.
yeah,
You know, you can't play Uncharted 2 on PlayStation Now. Well, you could go out and buy a PS4 and buy the Uncharted trilogy, and
you
it
could
would
even
be
go out and buy
cheaper.
a PS3 and the Uncharted games.
You could, but it would be infinitely cheaper to do that than to move house. At the moment, you know, at this precise point in time, and we're talking. So Nintendo said they're going to release new Switch versions, or have leaked, or it's been rumored, or something. I read it. I read it quick on the train this afternoon, which is going to have two builds. It's going to have a cheap build and a super duper build. Obviously, we've got Microsoft's Xbox or Nextbox. That's one's going to be diskless, so you have to download and or stream, and one's going to be a disc version. So at the moment, there will always be an alternative if you
Yeah,
can't stream. And I'm not saying that it's right or fair, but no one's stopping you from playing these games. You just have to do it a bit different,
yeah.
you know. And it sucks, of course it sucks, but the, no one's stopping you.
It's like the current iteration of Xbox with the 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 One X and the PlayStation Plus Pro, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah,
And the 4K stuff that's coming out now is that they have to say right now that anything that's available on that is better on it. It's not exclusive to it
yeah,
because they can't shut off all of the people who invested on day one with their fucking console that they spent 500 plus pounds on to then go, well, actually, 5 years down the line, if you didn't spend another 500 pounds on this console, so we're now talking £1,000 worth of console.
yeah.
If you didn't spend £1,000 or you didn't wait 4 years to pick up this generation of consoles and you were still playing your previous generation of consoles, you now can no longer play our games. At some point in the future, they will probably have to make that step and say, okay, yeah, we're no longer releasing disc-based games just because we're trying to save the environment.
Yeah, see, we're a long way off from that, I think.
I think we're more likely to see new cases come out that are made of vegetables or something.
Yeah, I'm not denying for a second that we're gonna, you know, stuff like that. I think has to change and will change, but I don't think we'll not get disc-based games because of it. We'll just get, you know, minimal wrapping, minimal boxes. Uh,
Yeah,
but
go back
let's.
to the old PlayStation 1 cases that are fucking tiny.
But you also have to, you know, let's talk about that for a second. Like the problem at the moment with the big issue with plastic at the moment is I hope can you hear my piercing hitting my teeth?
No.
Because I can feel it rattling around in my head, and I thought if it sounds like this on the recording, it's going to be a fucking nightmare. It literally, it's like someone's like tapping a pen against my teeth when I talk. And it does it all the
I-
time. But sometimes I hear it, and now I can't not hear it, and now it's bugging me.
See, now I'm going to listen out for it. And I'll let you know if I hear it, because at the
Anyways,
moment I can't.
so let's the plastic thing with the environment. The problem we got with plastic with the environment and why it's such big news is because David Attenborough took a video camera out and caught whales eating plastic, which is horrible. It's one of the worst things in the world, and plastic with what we've done to the world with plastic is one of the worst things a species could ever do to the place it lives. We are utter fucking retards for doing it. But if you sift through all of the plastic in those oceans, I guarantee you there's not one Xbox One game case.
No.
Because it's not disposable throwaway plastic. It's stuff that you keep, it doesn't go in the bin unless it breaks. Your game stays in it and it goes on your shelf.
You hope that that's what happens, but I know a lot of people out there who take games out of cases, put them in like CD wallets, and then throw the case away.
Well, these people should be forced to swim around in the plastic in the oceans. But you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking plastic bags that are used once and lobbed into the street to blow around and kill ducks with. These are game cases that you put games in. Yeah.
Sorry, I just got the idea of someone running around chasing ducks and trying to put them in a plastic bag.
Exactly. That's what they do.
It's a single-use plastic, but there aren't enough ducks in this one, so I'm gonna go fucking catch a couple.
Exactly. But because then you're talking, you got to do the same for DVDs and Blu-rays and CDs and all this, and now you're talking a whole new thing. I don't foresee that happening at all. I don't see there being a problem. I don't think that's the issue. Not even a little bit. But I do think that maybe we'll get to a point where all consoles are discless, but we're years away. Like a decade minimum away.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna go the opposite way. I'm gonna say it's less than a decade, but only because we've seen enough games coming out the last couple of years, the last couple of months, where a game has been not on the disc. You put the disc in the tray and then you have to download 50 plus gigs worth of content.
Yeah.
And off of the disc it's less than a gigabyte.
But how many of those games have not been live service games?
Well, none of them, but how many games have been live service games that have come out in the last 4 years since live service games have really been pushed?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot
but what I
of
mean
live
is,
service games.
So, let's say I'll give you for instance. Let's say I'm not picking up games just for the sake of picking them up and playing them. Okay, so I don't play Call of Duty games, so I'm not going to pick up Black Ops 4. I don't play Fallout 76, or I don't play Fallout games, so I'm not going to install it. If I only play the kind of games that I like to play, how long is it going to take me to trip across a game that has a 50 gig day one live service update? My guess would be quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while. Well, apart from unless you want to include things like the 4K texture packs downloads.
Patches, I think, are different. So patches, I think, and again, patches suck. We've talked about playing games almost none so far tonight, and we've been going for more than an hour. Patches, I think, are slightly different.
We've talked about playing Hitman.
True. I think day one patches suck, but I know why they're there. Game update patches are bollocks, but I know why they're there. I think I can justify, a 2 or 3 gig patch, or even a 10 gig day one patch, because arsehole company forced game out way before it was ready, and it went gold, and they were still fixing problems.
Yeah.
I would say for the most part, and again it has to be for the most part, the infrastructure's there for day one patches. They might be slow, but it's just something you're going to have to deal with. But you also don't have to do your patches to play the game.
True. I mean, apart from the live service ones, obviously, but a lot of the games will let you play offline if you don't pick up the day one patch, and you
Yeah.
can just download the day one patch. It's the people in I can't say backwards countries because these some of these countries are actually pretty decent countries, but they've got really shit internet infrastructure because for some reason there's
Like
been no
Wales.
investment. Or Australia.
Yeah.
There's been like no investment from anyone to make the internet better in Australia. And Jesus fucking Christ, if I ever moved there, I wouldn't be able to play games anymore, really,
No.
because your internet's so bad out there. For
But
some
yeah.
no good reason whatsoever, you get better internet in in third world countries over the satellite.
Yeah. But the thing is, I know it sounds like I'm being very forgiving of these people that do give you a 50 gig day one patch or force live services on you or make you buy your games from the Microsoft Store and then download an entire fucking game. I'm not that forgiving of them. It's a fact of life. Day one patches are a fact of life, but I've been playing games long enough to remember games that had literal game breaking bugs in them. You couldn't
And
get any further because game fucked.
yeah,
And there was
you
no way it was being patched.
Yeah, the only way that you could get it's like you had to play the game if you hit one of the bugs. So the most obvious one I can think of is one of the missions on Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive 2 was that
Yeah.
if you jumped at the wrong time, you would land on the background.
Yeah.
There was nothing you could do about it. Once you landed on the background, that was it. You had to quit and start again from scratch because loading and checkpoints weren't really a thing back then. It was literally you were fucked. You then would start from scratch because
Yeah.
that's what games were back then.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was the thing. There were games. I'm struggling. Honestly, struggling. I wish I could think of one or two just to bring up. But there were games that they were broken. Not, we're not talking, oh shit, you fucked it, now you have to restart. We're talking, you cannot get any further because game fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I know of a couple. I can't think of their actual fucking names, which is really fucking shit. But yeah, I do know of a couple of games where it was like if you were unlucky to receive the copy that was in this batch, you ended up with not being able to do this mission because it wasn't put on the fucking disc.
Yeah. So in that respect, bring on day one patches, bring on fixes for games. You know, I don't necessarily mean bring on patches for games that completely fuck your game, but yeah, this is just this technology moves on and we have to move on with it, mate. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is, and I do. It is gonna suck when we finally get to a point where games are streaming only, and there's people that are still stuck on 2 meg internet, and that's gonna be really shit. But yeah, you,
Yeah,
you
I
can't
don't.
you can't hamstring an entire industry or several industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix would suffer as well. Can you imagine if Netflix went, well, we're not going to give you 4K content because there's a man who lives next door to you who's only using a MiFi dongle for his internet and he can't handle more than SD. Oh, okay, I'll watch The Punisher in SD then, because
No,
Trevor
thank you.
next door can't figure out the fucking internet.
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
You
sucks,
you
but
can't hamstring in multiple industries based on a couple of people, but like to my argument is that the people that want the stuff would put themselves in a position where they could get the stuff rather than not having it. So, okay, yeah, maybe you wouldn't spend the money and move house specifically to get better internet. But if you were in the market of moving house and you were looking at it going, okay, so I want to move house anyway,
yeah,
I'm going to move to a place where I can get gigabit internet rather than move to what could potentially be a nicer area, but they're currently running off of old cigarette paper.
yeah. It should definitely be a consideration if you're a gamer or a streamer or you
Yeah.
like watching your movies on Netflix and you're moving house.
Yeah.
That should be on your list of things to look at. If it's if it's a possibility. If you're homeless and you're being given a council house, steal next door's Wi-Fi.
It,
don't fuck
well,
around.
I'm pretty sure they'd be doing that anyway. But
Yeah.
okay,
But no,
yeah,
but I know what you're saying. And
yeah,
if I'm in the market for moving house, one of the first things I do is, I check to make sure the schools are alright, because now I have to worry about fucking local schools. I check to make sure I can get good internet.
mate, you're in Milton Keynes. None of the schools are all right.
I don't
I've
know.
seen the Ofsted reports. A lot of them are very much below average.
I don't know. There's still a few good ones. You got to take the best of the bad bunch, then, haven't you?
Yeah,
You know, if my kid's going to be a serial killer, I want to at least be a good serial killer.
he's a serial killer with a slight education,
Exactly.
with at least one GCSE.
Yeah. At least you should be able to talk in proper goddamn English, unlike her dad. But yeah, so you check the internet. That obviously that's something you have to do. But if I find a really nice house that I can afford and with a good school near it, but I can only get 40 meg internet, you know what? I'll live with that.
To be fair, 40 meg is more than enough for 80% of anyone's use.
Oh yeah, it's
I
less than
I
what I
could
get here.
I can't really think of a time when I would properly need to have gigabit internet, and it's mostly I kind of want it. The Xbox, for instance, can't do gigabit internet. I think it's actually capped at about 640.
Okay.
Same as the PlayStation.
Fair
And
enough.
you can't do gigabit over Wi-Fi. It's only over Ethernet that you can get the full gigabit.
Yeah.
And a large portion of my place is on Wi-Fi. The things that aren't on Wi-Fi though are my Amazon Fire Stick that's a 4K one, and my 4K Apple TV,
Yeah.
and my 4K TV in the living room.
Yeah.
All of these things can output 4K. That's why I've got the gigabit internet, because I want to be able to put a 4K movie on and also be able to play on my Xbox
Yeah.
and not have to worry about either of them having a lag issue
Yeah.
or the 4K movie dropping down to being in standard def for 5 minutes while it tries to buffer itself. No, nobody wants to be watching a 4K movie suddenly drop down to standard def or worse
Yeah.
just because it's got a buffering issue.
Yep. No, I'm with you there, mate. I am.
Christ, imagine watching a upgrade drop down to less than 360p.
That would be some fucking irony for you, for one. Considering Upgrade is all about technology goddamn taking over.
Exactly. And then the technology takes over and it gives you a worse experience of your own life.
Yeah. Oh, I want to watch Upgrade again now.
Don't know why, kind of.
I might do it while I'm editing.
I don't know why I don't know why Upgrade came to my mind. I've got so many other 4K films just waiting for me to watch,
We've been going
including
for an
Venom.
hour and a half.
Yeah,
We've been going for an hour and a half and we've barely actually talked about anything.
that's because we decided to get in an argument about the internet
It's like
and
putting
how.
the goddamn world to rights for the fucking internet and streaming games. Dude, be quick. What have you been playing that isn't Hitman?
So I also play Jump Force, which is
That's the anime
the
crossover
anime
beat 'em up
crossover,
thing.
yeah, fighter. Okay, it's a 3-on-3 tag team fighting game. So it's actually really kind of cool. If you don't have any interest in any of the lore to it,
No.
at all, you are not its customer
Well,
whatsoever.
no,
But you are,
I knew that the second I saw the first trailer for it and fell asleep.
but you are a fighting game fan.
Yeah,
So this takes the arguably best part about Marvel vs. Capcom games in that it's a three-man fighter,
yeah,
and it's literally that you play with a single health bar for the three fighters that you've got. You can tag in and out with them. If you do things at the right time with decent timing, you can combo the guys that you're with together, so you all do the moves together to get more damage done.
Oh, yeah.
Works out really cool. But it's not a 2D fighter like Marvel vs. Capcom. It's a three-dimensional fighter.
yeah.
So it's closer to Mortal Kombat Tekken, Soul Calibur style.
Okay, yeah.
Mortal Kombat's 3D fighter now, or is it still a 2D one?
It's 2D. It's back to being 2D. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. So it's so Tekken, Soul Calibur style 3D fighter.
Yeah.
But there's other mechanics in it, if you've hit your opponent far away from you, you can make yourself fly really quickly to them so that you don't end up like being completely miles away and then doing a range attack and you've got no way of defending yourself because you're the other side of the fucking map, so you can just launch yourself at them. There's a story element to it, but it's difficult to keep track of it going along because you spend a lot of time at a home base where you spend a good
Why are you going to home
amount.
base?
It, yeah, exactly. You go back to I can't even a tower that you basically pick your missions from, but it takes fucking forever to run around and find your next mission to go and do. So I've not actually got that far in the story, but as a fighter, it's bastard hard
Yeah.
until you can get yourself to a position where you kind of know the controls. So it doesn't baby you in like a lot of fighters have been known to do, where they baby you in and get progressively more and more difficult. This one starts hard, gets harder, but at the same time you feel yourself getting better, learning more of the buttons, learning more of the controls as you go along. It doesn't punish you too much, but once I hit my ceiling, I probably won't continue.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't know if I'm going to continue because I'm renting on the PlayStation, and after playing it for all of about 5 to 6 hours the first time I played it, I've not put it on since.
Fair enough.
So it might end up going back to Boomerang, and maybe then I'll start earning some more Boomerang points because I'm pretty sure it's this and Far Cry New Dawn are the only games on my list, and I've got both of them.
Yeah.
It really fucking sucks when you've only got a couple of games on your list on Boomerang, and you've got both of them.
Yeah. Well, I've only got two.
Especially when you've got both of them and you're not playing either of them.
Well, I've got two in my house at the moment. I've got the Division, which I've just rented, and will probably just buy off them because it will cost me a fiver. And I've got Darksiders 3. On my list is Days Gone and Rage 2. So I've got a couple of weeks, but I need to get at least one of those back or bought pretty sharpish.
Well, you've got £7, right?
Oh yeah, I can buy uh, the Division off them, no problem. Shouldn't be an issue. Just yeah, I need to I need to remember to do it. Is the thing because the last time I picked a game that I liked the look of over a fighting game that I knew I was going to love, I regretted buying Prey. So I'm not buying Days Gone over Mortal Kombat this year. I'm buying Mortal Kombat, and Days Gone will be rented.
I need to get Days Gone. That's not far away, so I definitely need to send back at least one of these two games. But at
April
the same time, I
26th.
think, yeah, I think I've also got something else. I've got Metro Exodus waiting for me, but I still haven't finished 1 and 2.
Nice. I would definitely play 1 and 2 first.
Well, that's the thing is that it's been so long since I played 1. I'd probably need to go back and do that one
Or at
again.
least, YouTuber playthrough for them both.
So I pretty much know because I pretty much know the entire story of Metro 1, 2033 rather,
Yeah.
and I know I'm at the point of no return when I stopped playing it to play something else quickly, and then ended up not going back onto it. So I have no idea what the fucking controls are at all. I also think I might also be very much out of ammo because I think I was doing a as close to pacifist run as you can on a Metro
Yeah.
game. Because I think there is a lot of stealth element to it, and the only time you really need to actually use your guns is the one fight with the librarians.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I've not really done anything, and therefore I've got like no ammo, and I've also got like no money to buy ammo.
Well, that's not good.
So yeah, there's. And I know Metro is a game where you can like literally get infinite money.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting one if I do end up playing it or Exodus.
Yeah.
Although it'll probably end up being neither.
I would like to play Exodus, but I will probably, even if I just find a story catch-up video, because it's been a couple of years since I finished Last Light. Because I platinumed them both on PlayStation.
Didn't you pick up? I was going to say, didn't you pick up Metro because of my recommendation of it, or was it?
Metro 2033 was one I always wanted to play, and I own it on Steam, because I picked it up because it was going cheap. I was like, oh, I think I picked up like a THQ bundle and I got Metro 2033 in that. Kept installing it and then not playing it, and then because you remember I didn't have a 360 for the entire life of the 360. I had I had two for maybe a year each. Yeah, and I kept forgetting to play Metro 2033 on them. And obviously 2033 didn't come out on PlayStation. And then Metro Redux came out after Last Light, after THQ was bought. So Metro 2033 and Last Light, I think I got them both for about 15 quid.
Yeah.
And I played them both and platinumed them both, which was fucking tough on PS4. But that was a few years ago, so I need to remind myself of the story. I also own them both on Xbox One, because I bought them and Saints Row Re-Elected and Get Out of Hell for a tenner in the sale. Mainly because I wanted to play Saints Row and Get Out of Hell, and I thought for a tenner I might as well take the other two as well, just in case, and I never installed them. But I'd like to play Exodus at some point as well. But yeah, I'm more interested in playing Days Gone and Rage.
Yeah, I
Rage
I
looks
kind of
fucking
really
great.
I kind of really want to play Days Gone. It looks fucking phenomenal, but it's going to be another one of those. I'm going to be renting it for like 7 to 8 months before even considering playing it,
Yeah.
just because it's on the wrong platform.
Yeah, see that sucks.
It I can't for the life of me just turn on my PlayStation sometimes. It's like I get home, the first thing I do is like put the Xbox on
Well,
in terms of gaming.
is it just because you
Be-
haven't
just-
picked up a game worth playing?
The thing is it's not just that I've not picked up a game that's worth playing. The exclusives come out left and right for the PlayStation. When Spider-Man came out, yes, I finished it in like a weekend, but I also had time off work and specifically played Spider-Man
Yeah.
because I wanted to play Spider-Man.
Have
But
you installed God of War yet?
yes, but I've not played it. I also installed that other game that's really popular that you love. The fuck, I can't remember. The one with the giant robot dinosaurs.
Horizon.
Yeah, I've got that and installed, and I've not played it.
So,
Well, no, that's a lie. I've done the prologue cutscene and then turned off my PlayStation.
okay, so I loved Horizon, but it does take a little while to get into it. So if you're not in the mood to play on the PS4, that's probably not the direction to go. I would say find yourself 2 hours, switch on God of War, because you won't want to turn it off for one, and that will be your first port of call when you get home after work, will be to switch on the PS4 and play God of War. Because
Yeah,
it will get its hooks in. And I think that's the thing. Because I have a similar issue with the PS4. Unless I'm playing something specific that I want to play, I don't switch it on anymore. Because I just don't. All the games I want to play, I buy on Xbox. Just out of habit, not because... I mean, I do prefer the Xbox. I prefer the Xbox controller. Just in general, I prefer the Xbox. But out of habit, I buy games for the Xbox or rent them for the Xbox. It's just
yeah.
that's just how it is.
That's the reason to why I use Boomerang Jump Force on PlayStation as well. Is that I look at it and go, if I rent more games on the PlayStation that I'm less inclined to want to keep, or I've got friends that aren't really interested in playing the same game as me, I tend to try and put them on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
But it doesn't really work often because I'll end up playing on this game, Jump Force specifically, and I'll get to a point where I'm just a bit bored and I'll switch over to playing on the Xbox and then just spend the rest of the fucking year playing on my Xbox. Because, but I can, on the Xbox, I can be sat in a party with my friends and I'll be playing a game that's not even remotely close to what it is that they're playing.
yeah,
So I could be on FIFA while they're playing Battlefield, or I'll be playing Call of Duty, Blackout with them, and someone else be playing Battlefield, or we'll be playing the new Battlefield Battle Royale mode, and I'll be playing FIFA, or someone will be doing something different because there's like 8 of us, and you can only have up to 4 people in a team most times.
yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I played apart from Jump Force was the Battlefield Battle Royale mode. It's not great.
That does not surprise me.
So it's very typical Battlefield mechanics. And have you played the recent Battlefields?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the most recent Battlefields gameplay is not brilliant. The servers are not fantastic, and the Battle Royale suffers for both of those things. So running around, picking up weapons, Battle Royale style, but you're only in 64 player servers.
Yeah.
So you've got a 64 player, biggest Battlefield map ever.
Fuck's
You
sake.
don't see a lot of people.
No.
And you know some of those, this is Battlefield's biggest map ever.
Yeah.
Remember the last time when they announced that Battlefield's biggest map ever, back on, I think it was Battlefield 3?
Caspian
When
Border,
they,
Battlefield 4.
yeah, and it was literally that they just went, this is Battlefield's biggest map ever. And do you remember what it was like playing on that with the 64 player
Yeah, it's fucking
things?
boring.
If you weren't in a vehicle, you didn't see anyone half of the game.
Yeah.
You like games would end and people would it would time it would end on time rather than end on kills
Yeah.
because you just couldn't get the fucking score high enough because you look at the scoreboard and you'd see people with top of the team KD of like 4 kills to 2 deaths because they didn't see anyone.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. As the ring gets smaller, yes, you do see more people, but it's a 64 player server. It takes a long time. So I've got one win on it where I got 2 kills and
Yeah.
they were right at the end because I saw 2 people right at the end and killed them both. There was literally there was nothing else. I didn't see a single person and I was always nearish the middle of the fucking ring as it got smaller. I just and the fact that it's called Firestorm is a bit on the nose because on this one the ring is literally a ring of fire that gets smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a no from me, I think.
Yeah, it's not. I don't quite grasp EA's decision to say Battlefield sales were low because Battle Royale wasn't launched, and that the single player was the reason that the Battlefield's Battle Royale was launched. I think the single player was better, and I think more people probably were more interested in the war stories because the Battle Royale mode's just another cash grab. And so far, I think Blackout is by far the best one I've played.
Yeah, I think that's what hurt it. I think that what hurt it was no Battle Royale on release day plus Blackout hurt
Because Blackout
Battlefield.
is still very good now,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're constantly adding to it more. They're actually adding to it faster than they're adding to the standard multiplayer and zombies, and people are complaining because Blackout's getting more cool stuff
Yeah.
faster than anyone else.
I've got no doubt the Blackout's excellent. No, I've said it before. It's just not my game type. It's not my style. It's not for me. But I think what hurt Battlefield was in the rush for everybody to get a goddamn battle royale game out. Battlefield promised a battle royale mode and then promised it 6 months after the game released. People aren't interested in promises 6 months down the line. If I
They
want to
want, yeah.
play, if I want to play battle royale in Battlefield, I'll just wait the 6 months.
Well, that's the thing. In 6 months' time, Battlefield, you could probably pick it up for less than half the
And
price
there's the problem.
because 6 months later, people have gotten rid of the game because it's taken 6 months to release a battle royale game
Yep.
mode. When there's already Fortnite, there's already PUBG, there's already Blackout, there's already another EA title has come out of the woodworks for out of fucking nowhere with
Yeah.
Apex.
Well, this is it, and I'm not saying that people would have actively avoided playing or buying or playing Battlefield 5 because it was missing its battle royale mode. I'm saying that was possibly a factor in it, but like I said, in a 6 months or year span where everyone and their mum is pushing out a battle royale game and doing something new and different, your unique selling point can't be shit is missing from my game. It can't be. It's fucking ridiculous. And for EA to think they were going to get away with that and still make money, retards, the fucking lot of them.
Doesn't Minecraft have a battle royale mode now?
Mate, there is a goddamn battle royale Tetris game.
I think I saw that.
It's great. I fucking love it. It's called Tetris 99 and it is amazing. I play it on my Switch.
Okay, then.
It is so fucking cool because it's basically Tetris, and then every now and then you just fire your wasted lines off to random person because you play against 98 other people, and you
That's
just have
genius.
to be. It's fucking mate. It is so simple. And when I read it, I was like, "Oh, you're having a laugh. That can't be a thing." And then I played it. And I was like, "This is fucking great. This is absolutely brilliant." And if it wasn't for the fact that the Wi-Fi on the trains I'm on this week sucks so bad, I'd be taking my Switch with me every day to play Tetris 99 because it's fucking brilliant. But yeah, this is my point though. Nintendo have managed to get a Tetris Battle Royale game out. You know, if they can do that, why can't EA get their Battlefield? Well, they can now, obviously. But 6 months down the line, it's not going to help. And now, once again, EA are just the people that wanted to do what everybody else was doing, and that hurts them even more.
Yeah. How about you, Brooks? What have you played?
I played one game.
Yep.
I played Darksiders 3.
Yeah, you did.
What can I say about Darksiders? No, I will be quick because I'm watching the counter go up for our recording. Darksiders 3, I simultaneously love and fucking hate it. I love the story, same as I loved the story for the first Darksiders and the second. I think Fury is amazing. I think she's such a cool character, and I love her attitude. I love her sense of humor. She comes with a Watcher, who's really weird, and the interactions between the two are great because the Watcher's like a doting fangirl. It's really quite bizarre, but I don't like the game.
So you're basically the Watcher.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem with the game is there are moments where the game's quite self-aware, and I think that's brilliant. I screenshotted and tweeted a moment where she gets annoyed at the laziness of, people having to go and find 3 of something because it always comes in 3s, which is me losing my shit at Darksiders 1 and 2 constantly about everything having to be in goddamn 3s to artificially lengthen the game, and it's just obtuse and I hate it. But I don't like that first boss, not really a boss, but it was kind of a boss. I died, and I was sent back to the beginning of the level.
Oof.
Not the beginning of the boss, not a checkpoint in the boss fight, the beginning of the level. So at that point, I literally, and you got to remember, this is only 20 minutes into the game, and I'm like, well, I'm going to drop this difficulty down to easy, because I ain't doing that a lot. That's going to annoy me a lot.
Yeah, dropping back 20 minutes is a long time when it's the first 20 fucking minutes.
But this is how the game plays as well. So I'm literally running through the game going, I need to keep an eye on when this thing autosaves so I know where I'm actually going to come back to. Because if you die, your checkpoint can be 15 minutes before where you are. And this is the reason I'm slumping at the moment, mate, because it happened. I got to a fight. It wasn't a boss fight, it was just a big motherfucker fight. Miscalculated it, got my ass handed to me, died. And I respawned back 10 minutes, and I was like, I looked at that and went, I'm not fucking doing that again. I'm just not. It's like, have you ever gone out on the piss, and then you're all done, and it's time to go home, and you go, you know what? I'm not going to get a cab. I'll just walk. And then you get to A, B. You're about halfway home, and you just, I don't know. Where are you? Where I used to live in Northampton, we used to live at the top of a hill, and I used to get to the bottom of the hill, look up the top, and just go, I cannot fucking do that. And just you feel just so defeated, just as you look up that hill and go, just no. And you briefly wonder if it's okay for you to just curl up and fall asleep in the position you're in. That is how Darksiders 3 made me feel. I looked at that, I went, I am not doing that again. And I turned it off. That was a week ago. And I've had a little bit of time to game. I've been quite busy, like I said earlier. I've been quite busy.
Yeah.
So, cinemas and books and all sorts, and training and just work in general. And it's just been a fucking insane couple of weeks. But even in those moments where, like, Maya's looked at me and she's gone, well, I've got some marking to do. Do you want to play some games? And my response has been, no, I don't. Because because I've turned the Xbox on and it says resume Darksiders 3, and I go, no, just fucking no. I'm undecided yet as to whether I keep the game for a bit longer, maybe do Hitman for a bit, maybe play The Division. I've been jonesing for a couple of months now. I really want to replay Dishonored. Maybe I do that and then go back to Darksiders and do it again. But yeah, I feel like it's defeated me, and I hate that. But yeah, I'm not liking it at all. And so ends my Darksiders 3 rant. And I've sent you to sleep.
Yeah.
Mate, I think that's a perfect time to cut it off, to just be done. So, until the next episode, mate, I'm going to get you off quick. Until the next episode, where can people find you?
So you can find me as the John_CU on Twitter and Xbox Live. I'm Long Dong Silver.
Cool. I am, as always, Brooker411 on Twitter. Sometime in the next week, my review for the book that I've been reading based on The Division will be hitting Set the Tape. Go and have a read. If silly tie novels are your thing, maybe you'll like it. Outside of that, yeah, you know where to find me and where to find us. So us as a team, as Character Unlock, we are on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, at Character Unlock. Come and find us, come and talk to us. Come and tell us how much you fucking hated listening to us ranting and raving about Hitman for 40 goddamn minutes, and then ranting and raving about Stadia and shit internet and plastic boxes for another 40 minutes. Yeah, I don't
And then
know.
spending like 10 minutes talking about games.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but you know what? It keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
On that note, mate, I think it's time for us to say goodbye. Say goodnight, John.
Good night.
Good night, John.